What's up, everybody? This is Brandon, and you'll be seeing my fiance Amelia in this one. And this is Sociable Turtle, where we try to have honest conversations about creativity, the messiness of addiction, all the beauty in life, and the people in it. So grab a cup of coffee or tea. We hope you'll stick it out. It's a little bit of a longer theme on trust, but just an honest, raw conversation between Amelia and I, and hope you enjoy.
Hey everyone!
Welcome back to Sociable Turtle. This week we've got a special episode for you. My goodness. We're going to be discussing the space between belief and action. So it's going to be about trust between us, between the people watching this. Trust is the foundation for everything that comes next. So it was good as time as any to have a conversation about it. It's nice to have you back for this one again.
Yes, it's good to be back. I've been absent the last couple episodes because we're sometimes in
totally different parts of the country.
Yes.
So it's something that's probably an orthodox dynamic for people in long-standing relationships, but we make it work. You know, we create what we can. The studio is wherever the studio is at any given time and place. So that part has been quite a bit of fun to have to navigate. But no, we're back this week together, and it's nice. We're just gonna have a nice conversation about some of the things that we've already alluded to, we've kind of talked about previously, and just how it all ties up into this, important matter.
It feels right that we're doing this one together.
Literally using the same thing I just said. Cut to 3 seconds before when I just said that line. No, we're talking about trust. So one of the biggest things about trust that I think is, certainly how addiction definitely affected that. I mean, it's like, who are you getting? What version of me are you getting? There's a part of me that it hurt to know that I hurt a lot of people, broke a lot of trust because of the things that addiction naturally just, the lying, the deceiving, the I gotta get my fix kind of feel. So you'll go to any means or any lengths necessary, and it's pretty destructive. I know it.
Yeah, you were lying to yourself too.
First and foremost.
So I think the first trust you broke was within yourself, which then trickled with the people around you.
Yeah.
Us, your family, your siblings, friends.
Yeah, I mean, not like little things like, hey, yeah, I'll pick you up at the airport, and then just never showing up because I'm over here completely drunk somewhere, not even aware of the time or day of place. It's just.
Yeah, that was a couple of times you've done that to me. So that was, emotional. Sorry.
No, it's like we said before, right? It's easier the more we talk about it, but every time we do talk about it, you kind of, the part of you that takes you back. I mean, it's like reliving memories, right? You know, when you're reflecting, you're thinking about these things that happened into your life. I mean, yeah, just we were talking about this earlier where I got all emotional just from something you had said, and being able to like navigate life with that pain that we now have as a part of it, like working through
healing
it.
Through the pain.
And healing through the pain, yeah.
Rebuilding the trust, the foundation of trust in our relationships, within ourselves, because then, like I've thought about it this year, it's like I trust myself and I know myself, but then the constant deception that was brought by your addiction made me reflect in almost not exactly self-doubt, but there was a part of me, a very small part, where I'm like, okay, am I just being hopeful? And there's no light at the end of the tunnel here? And therefore, am I making the right decisions without being clouded?
That's fair. I think just because you can love somebody to death doesn't mean it's always the right decision to make. Like it can be hard to continue loving someone when they're no longer loving themselves.
And I think that's where I think last year, making that decision to end all was a very difficult one but it was also a hard reset where, for me, making that decision, which I know upset you, made me realize that I had to do that to kind of do a hard reset for both of us. This, like, without thinking that we would get back together, because that was not the goal.
No.
The goal was like, hey, your addiction is costing you everything, including me, in our relationship, our life that we have pictured. And that's really the hard part, was like, I could not understand why you were so self-destructive, despite understanding that the addiction was the culprit of it.
No, I think because I was in it for so long. I mean, it was like half my life, literally starting at such a young age, and it became a very toxic habit. It started out as something that was just, fun and carefree, and it's like the thing that young people do. You go out and party, and you're hanging out, and you're always drinking, and then it became something so much worse, where I was using that as an outlet to feel or to not feel certain things, to process things, and which is not a very productive way of processing, because you're not fully there. There's so much of that brain fog that I'm still every day recovering from. I'm like, oh my God, there's gaps in my memory, and like, yeah, so much is like when you talk about the doubt you had in me, like the doubt I had in myself, knowing like I'm making destructive decisions, and why do I feel like I can't help that? Like, why do I feel so compelled to, like, it's fine, today's gonna be much better, you won't get in as much trouble today because you're gonna behave, right? You'll cut back some, you won't drink as much, and it's like you're still sipping the poison. Like, I think a lot of that came to light, once the decision was made that I needed to go to treatment, both times, because it wasn't something that I was really seeing for myself. As much as I was convincing myself for years, I was like, I got this, I can do this on my own. And I think a lot of addicts and anyone with addictive personalities can be like, oh, I can handle this. I can take care of my credit card debt. My shopping addiction is not that bad, but people are worse. Like, you compare to anyone, someone else always has it worse, or someone else is always doing better. But at the end of the day, are you truly being honest with yourself? Can you trust yourself to refrain from shopping? Can you trust yourself from going to the liquor store? Or can you go to the grocery store knowing there's liquor available and go there for exactly what you need without showing back home with some extra little,
Which happened a couple times.
It did. Absolutely. And it's such a shame that even something as simple as like, hey, I want to go to the gas station, is like, can I even trust you're going to the gas station? Or are you going out to go get something else?
Or you're going to the gas station and bringing something else.
Yeah, or bringing something else. It was not fun. Definitely dark times. But I think we've had a lot of good, heavy conversations that helped address, is this a lifestyle that you're going to keep living? Because if I am, then you can't be a part of it.
Mm-hmm. Which was made crystal clear.
Yes.
I mean, it was very difficult because I felt like I was really trying to hone that.
You were very patient. More patient than many other people would normally. I appreciate that. I appreciate, a lot of the things that we have talked about and helped grow, and again, it took me going back a second time, and even after that, it still took several months for me to kind of take to heart, what we've been talking about, what I've been learning through treatment.
Why is that?
I'm stubborn.
Oh,
it's the addict in me. It's the stubborn personality in general in me. It's, New York
it's a Falania trait.
It's the Falania trait. New York parents, military parents, just the hard asses, the stubborn asses we can be. No, I kept just when I thought I'd have it under control or I was good to go, there's still so much unresolved, like pain and heartbreak that, how you treat that or how you go about handling that. There's the easy way and there's the hard way. The easy way was to go grab a bottle, in my case. For other people, it may be binge eating or maybe shopping. Yeah.
Retail therapy.
We've heard stories of other people, and it can be anything that, whatever your outlet is, it may not be the best, most
healthy coping mechanism.
There's more constructive ways, and I definitely was choosing the latter because that's all I had known. And I was being stubborn, and I was like, okay, maybe, like the idea of it, I kept romanticizing the idea of alcohol, like all the good times I had instead of remembering the bad times. And there was
That's a good point.
lot more bad times by the end of it than there were good times. So even while I'm in it, I'm like actively miserable, which makes no sense. Like, why would you choose to do that? It's like there's this weird compulsion that comes over you where it's like, well, I think I'd feel a lot worse if I didn't have this, so I might as well have it. And if I'm already going to be in trouble, might as well just double down on being in trouble. It's like, it's this really weird self-destructive mentality that it's not just affecting yourself, it's affecting everyone around you. Like, just like how we're trying to build a community here and how trying to share a positive message and spread that, like just how that can be infectious and that can spread like a virus, so can the self-destructiveness of addiction and just poor mental health habits. Like talking negatively to yourself, not giving yourself enough grace when you do make a mistake. I think a lot of people, especially ourselves, are very hard on ourselves when we are not perfect, when things are not like to a T. I know someone in particular is very structured and likes her schedules and everything. And that's kind of leads into the whole Bali experience where we really got an opportunity to test some of those conversations that we had, test some of this trust, this foundation of trust that we've been building.
This year, rebuilding.
Because you did not have a lot of time to be able to plan for the Bali trip. And
no.
That's usually something that we take hours and days,
months,
and
we take it very seriously.
Like, we do a lot of thorough research because we like to know where we're going, what are the things that we should be looking out for to do, of course, but
not
also,
just the touristy stuff, like really embracing the culture. Yes. Thank you. Really embracing the culture.
Yeah. Knowing certain phrases that would be helpful to get around.
That's what I was
immersing into the culture.
Immersing into that community is really important for us. We're not, as you will start to learn, for those who don't know us already, we are not vacationers. We are travelers.
I can't remember the last time I just vacationed. Just relaxed.
Okay, you go on many vacations with your family.
But even then, we're still running around.
Yeah, that's true.
I got to show you. We got some great footage from this last weekend. We were at Halloween Horror Nights in Universal. So hopefully you got some good. I took a lot of videos of that. No idea if any of it's useful or not, but it'd be kind of fun to look back on.
Did you use the?
I did. Yeah, I used a lot of their stuff. Try to use the mics. Trying to be in the moment without feeling like I'm working the whole weekend. Or like filming stuff. So it was a good balance. It was fun to do that. But yeah, so back to Bali. Yeah, it was a huge, I think, leap of faith. I think you didn't have nearly as much control over our schedule itinerary. You did a kind of a baseline research, whatever you could in your spare time. But even then, you were still walking in pretty blind.
I was walking in completely blind. Bali took me by surprise because I think you're from what we Americans, right, that have not been to.
Everyone's American.
Okay.
I'm just messing.
Well,
hello to our international viewers. We love you.
We do love you. I'm just saying, here in America, I can't speak for our fellow Europeans out there because life is so different out there. But here in America, we, we're always hustling, bustling, and we don't really know how to slow down. For the majority of that's just deeply rooted in our American culture. And so I feel like, I truly this summer was stretched extremely thin. I mean, I've been stretched pretty thin even with your with you and your addiction the last few years. But this was a whole nother ball game that I've never been prepared for in my life.
A lot of
So
bouncing around, a lot of uncertainty. And not even just like our relationship, like
No.
literally bouncing around.
Literally,
around the
physically.
country, uncertainty about like where we're staying at. Like,
last minute, like we like to plan our trips, well, like for many years. Our lives are pretty routinely scheduled. Like we knew we were, every weekend, certain weekends of the year, we would be in Orlando, or we would be in New York or California. And this year, I mean, in general, 2025 has not been like that.
very unorthodox.
Very. And I've been giving myself a lot of grace this year.
That's good. You should. You've been very strong in all of the chaos of it, and even through some of that chaos, we found a little bit of an escape. And even then, it was more just a rediscovering. Like, it was so great to be back out together, doing our thing. And again, I felt a little extra pressure. I don't know if I maybe I mentioned this to you earlier on, but I was like, it was more pressure for me. I was like, I did the research. Like, she's counting on me to know where we should be going.
And I've never done that before.
No, usually we're
Ever.
pretty like in sync, or we're watching the YouTube videos of other people's stuff to get really familiarized. And so
it's like 50-50 or 60-40, but this was completely like 99% you, 1% me.
You're being very generous.
No, truly. I mean, like I said, I walked in to this trip completely blind. I had zero time to, like, the only thing I was involved with was booking our flight.
And you had a hand in booking the lodging.
Yes, well,
which helped.
Yes, I mean those two things.
Once we had those locked in, I was like, okay, from here I can plan where we're gonna be. Like,
yeah, but even though the lodging, like, I didn't know where geographically we would stay, or
I
how.
helped that I gave you the spots.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You still, I mean, I just helped make those like executive, decisions, a stamp of approval.
Yes, and they were great.
Well, the trip, Singapore and Bali trip
yes.
was not just about the travel. I mean, that was a leap of faith. Mm-hmm. That trip symbolizes the trust I thrusted on you.
Mm-hmm. Onto me.
Onto you, yeah. Me, yes. Upon you. Like, I really, I had no control because I truly had no mental capacity to be a control freak that I know I can be. So I really, I was like, okay, I have zero capacity, but I still want to go on this trip. And I mean, I felt like this trip symbolized, not just your birthday trip, not just a first trip, for us as a couple to go to. Because I think when we were thinking about Singapore and Bali, or just a trip in general, and we were trying to find geographically where to go, I suggested Bali has always been on our list, and I suggested, I think this year with the theme of rebuilding trust, healing, and really just reconnecting in a deeper level, I was like, I think for some reason, without any research, I was like, I think we need to go to Bali. And originally we were going to stop in Abu Dhabi and Dubai as our layover, remember?
That was.
Or potential that one, or Qatar.
At some point in the early phase of the plans,
Middle East.
It was something like that. And then I was like, with everything going on in the world, I don't know about that one.
I don't think we should be traveling across that part of the world. Yeah. You were like, let's go
west.
Instead of east. So.
No, it was definitely, I mean, that trip, I couldn't have imagined it being as amazing as it turned out to be, honestly. I think so many things that we allowed, we built in a lot of time to explore and be flexible, but I mean, so much. I remember starting off on that trip and I was like, okay, I want to capture footage because I kind of had this idea in mind, but it really, like, I was like, I had the microphones. I didn't even take those out for the first couple of days because I was like, I don't know, I feel weird. Like, I'm like, no, wait, what do we? Let's just do this. Let's start capturing stuff. Let's lean into it, and even just like trusting ourselves with like, okay.
Yeah, I don't think I was on that 17-hour flight thinking, oh my God, Bali and Singapore. This is like, I guess I didn't think about like even that long flight from San Francisco to Singapore, which is roughly 17 hours. I didn't think, like, I didn't have an expectation is what I'm trying to say, is I had zero expectations, zero like vision of how I wanted the trip to go. Like, I think we were both in agreement that we were like, without saying it, like we were just gonna go with the flow.
It was very much go with the flow because you also kind of promised that we would relax on this one.
I did actually. Oops.
You were like, I really want to relax on this one. I was like, okay, we can build some relaxation. I like the idea of relaxing.
Oh yeah, I did.
Somehow it was just like hit the ground running every day. Like
every day.
We took some pauses. I like that we had a consistent like breakfast routine where we get to talk about our day. Like, I think all of those things kind of helped reground us in the fact that being somewhere else wasn't a distraction from what we've been building, right? Like, it was just it was an extra like spicy ingredient in our.
It really enhanced
it did.
The trajectory of where we were at that time in our relationship. Because I think, I would say maybe over the summer we kind of went over that hump. Because in the summer we really started to kind of date each other again. Yeah, I think, like, I know
we did start dating each other again. It wasn't like a guaranteed, like, oh, okay, we're starting this back up and we're all like picking up from where we left off. It's like, absolutely not. This was like burnt to a crisp.
No,
I need to.
I don't think it was burnt to a crisp. It was disintegrated.
Thanks, Ed.
Well, I mean, I hear what you're lots of love. You know
of course. I recognize the consequences of my actions. You know, like, I couldn't trust myself. How could I possibly expect anyone else to trust me, right? At a certain point, words are meaningless. And action has to be the thing. Because people are like, oh, through time, like, everything gets fixed through time. It's like, but what are you doing during that time?
Yes,
How are you spending that time? Because if you're just spending your time, like, oh, what was me for
and
5
hoping
months on end, and like, oh, I'm not drinking, but I'm like in a very depressive episode where I'm not really engaging with with the outside world or even taking care of myself. Like, am I getting myself up to go brush my teeth, to go take a shower? Like, am I doing the little things? Self-care. Am I doing those little things of self-care? So, no, I think through time and action is where true healing can be found. I think that's where we started, where you mentioned getting over the hump. Like, the summer, I feel like, okay, it's been a few months now, and I'm not showing up, and you're not drinking, so that's all right. That's a very baseline. That's good. That's a good first sign, you know. And then seeing though, like, okay, I can be productive. I can take charge. You can trust me with a trip planning for somewhere on the other side of the world, you know, in a completely different language. Because Singapore, I wasn't expecting, as we no, we haven't mentioned here, but Singapore is like, once you get there, you're like, oh, this is so comfortable. Like, everyone knows English. It's very English friendly. So that wasn't so jarring. It was nice to kind of have that almost cushion.
Compared to Japan, where it wasn't jarring, but it was a huge cultural shock.
I mentioned in episode 1, I lived in Japan at some point as a teenager. So for me, it was like, oh my God, I'm returning somewhere that I remember from my memories. So there was that bit of like uncomfortableness, but also like familiarity. For you, though, I know it was very like...
it was complete. All I could think about was like, oh my God, this is how Dad felt coming to the U.S. I'm like, no.
Not knowing the language.
Not knowing the language, the culture, the people, just the way of life. I mean, for me to be in Japan, those first few, like, not even first hour, maybe, hour at the airport, I was just like looking at everything. I was like, wow, this is... It was
this
definitely...
is a different part of the world.
Well, that
You're not in Kansas anymore. Well, I think we were kind of expecting that initial shock.
Yes.
Face shock.
In Singapore.
And when we got there, I'm like...
It was so easy. I mean, 2 minutes to go through security or
we get
through
out,
customs.
I've already had the app downloaded, so I was able to call a car like an Uber back in the States. I'm like, driver spoke English, and almost like, this is awesome. All right, we're easing right into this vacation.
Our hotel was English forward.
Yeah.
It was
So it was
definitely.
nice to be able to like, so yeah, no relaxing, just hit the ground. But then the Bali part came, and that's when we're like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, we're on the other side of the world. It's different. People speak a different language. People
don't know
behave
what.
differently.
Yes.
Driving over there, don't get me started on the driving. Oh my goodness, my heart could never. But yeah, so it was symbolic in that sense for me as I'm planning all of this, because I was like, wow, she's really trusting me. We're not just going to Mexico, or we're not just going to Florida. We're going somewhere where it's like, this is
We have to
completely
lean on
foreign.
each other
You have to
for
lean on each other.
survival. I mean, it really Singapore not so much because like
That's why
we
it was a nice
said,
cushion, like I
it
said.
was yeah. I
But
think
once you're in Bali,
Bali
or
was
in general,
a whole
most
nother-
places,
yeah.
but Bali for this one specifically was our like, well, we got each other's back. We're about to see if that's true. And no, absolutely, we absolutely did, and we had an amazing time. And I think that's why I think being at the whatever new baseline of trust and understanding that we had come to at that point in time, and of course it's always growing, it's always moving as every day, one day at a time. But being at that level, at that baseline level of trust, it was nice because I felt like we were able to focus on our healing without even like it being like so in your face.
Yeah, like it was like scheduled.
It was just like each day, like almost falling a little bit more in love again. Like how you said, we started dating each other again. Like it was like, we don't know. This isn't a guaranteed thing.
No,
we already
we
threw
did
it out
say
the
that.
window, and we need to make sure, like, as we work up to, is this something we want? Okay.
And can we, not only, I think we always wanted it, but can we heal from all the hurt?
Yes.
Really? Because when we decided to give it another shot, there was a lot of I don't want to say hesitation, but there was some reservation is a word.
Of course.
If we could heal appropriately and learn really more on your part.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm an angel.
Yeah, that humble bougie again.
No, but I also had to learn to trust you and myself in making sure that this was not, we weren't going to, because there are couples there out in the world that go in these like toxic cycles. And we've never been that type of couple, but it made me wonder with your addiction that I felt like we were almost like two hamsters running in that hamster wheel, and there was no way of like
opposite directions.
In opposite directions.
It just becomes a hot mess.
It was one hot mess.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've used this in other conversations with people about it, but it was like I was having an affair with alcohol.
I felt like at one point I was like, okay, you're choosing the bottle over the life that we have dreamt of together.
Yep.
It was rough.
It's a dark place to be. So yeah, so it was nice that in Bali we weren't necessarily looking for anything in particular. We weren't actively searching for filming locations or ideas, or it was just like we were
so organic.
We were living in the moment. We were living in the moment and taking things in stride, and it was just, I don't know, something about that. I was like, okay. Like some of the brain fog lifted in that part of the world, and I was like, okay, let's do this. And we really got our opportunity when we got stormed on towards the end of our trip, which unfortunately, there was the Bali flooding, and there was people that lost their homes and lost lives. So we had just come down from Ahmed to Nusa Dua, and that was towards the tail end of our trip, and that's when we got stormed in, basically. So
for like 3 days.
Yeah, and we were like, okay, we've done a lot of things. We were blessed to have gotten out and about without much disturbance from the weather, and so we were like, this is a sign. There's a sign. We had slowed down, and then because we had already been at this point, we've been accelerating our filming, like trying to be more intentional with our shots and stuff like that. And so it was nice to sit down. And then what was it that we were really like trying to hammer out? Just the organization, right? The structure.
Well, it was our first video, our first comeback video for Hello Darling. That's right. Really where we kind of sat down and hashed through like our videos and photos of how, and just have discussions on how we wanted to present ourselves, to reintroduce ourselves, because it had been almost 2 years.
Yeah. And it felt like a nice, like official, like, oh, now we're back. Like, this is serious. We're doing this. We're moving forward. And you all get to be a part of that journey.
We're very excited
It's
for you guys to join us in our process of healing and the life that we want to continue living together.
I mean, trust is not rebuilt overnight, like you said.
No, Rome wasn't built in one day.
No, and neither is, a long-standing relationship, whether it's romantic like ours, whether it's with family or friends. Like, lots of relationships rely on the trust of one another and believing in one another, and knowing also when it's okay to step away and when it's okay to step in for
Setting
your own
boundaries.
mental health, setting boundaries. I actually saw a really great video on another podcast where she was talking about just setting those boundaries with herself, with others. I was like, I like that. I respect the hell out of that. I mean, I think that's not always, like, I feel like once you start to learn about it, you're like, oh yeah, it's a little more, like, you're a little more intuitive about it. But when you're like not familiar with setting boundaries, especially starting with yourself, like, I couldn't set boundaries with myself. That's why I kept getting into trouble. So I kept getting myself into the same situations over and over, like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It's like, you're going to keep getting the same result, you ding dong. Like, what are you doing? So, and even like little moments of like trusting, when you're not, the past couple of weeks where it's like, you got the episode this week? I was like, I got the episodes, or at least I got an idea of something, like I'm going to put something together. It's that level of trust. It's like, because this is a joint effort. This is this isn't just a one-man show, even though it feels like it sometimes. But I got Cairo and Glitch, so they've been making it fun. No, it's a level of trust and like, okay, we're putting out something that we're happy to show about ourselves. We're talking about things that do matter. We're hoping that something resonates with the people, whoever's out there, because it took a long time for me to see out of my own head. Like, it took a long time. And even when people are telling me things, they're begging me to to get help. They're begging me to help myself in general. It doesn't matter. Like, if you're stuck in a certain part of your head, like, I don't know, maybe you got to hear it 1,000 times and finally, hopefully the 1,001st time it clicks. But that's why I want to keep reiterating to people. It's like, it's okay to not be okay, but we're here for you. We want to talk about it, honestly, because it doesn't hurt to talk about it. It really doesn't. Like,
Actually,
you'll learn some stuff about yourself that you're like, whoa. Or like my therapist, when she would like analyze me, and then I'd be like, I think I just talked myself into my own solution. Or I feel I came full circle on a couple of things sometimes, and with their input, of course, definitely helped. Like the little light bulb went off. But yeah, no, and that's why I was like, even when we're stubborn, it's like, you can be stubborn in the right ways. You can be stubborn about wanting to create, being stubborn about wanting something to look a certain way, being stubborn about the love that you have for people.
So, in other words, my stubbornness?
Your stubbornness, yes.
AKA determination, will.
Yeah, I mean, all the things that you need to be successful in life. And that's success, however you define it. If you just paid bills this week and you had food on the table and your kids are taken care of, that's success. If all you did this week was, take a quick shower to break your depressive cycle, if that's what you're stuck in, and you like did a little self-care, that's success. You making your bed in the morning, that's success. Like, you take happiness in all the little successes in your life, because all those little things will eventually add up, and you may not realize it, but it's creating something beautiful. It's creating a better version of you. And that's the story that I think everybody wants to hear, is who's the best version of you? I want to see that person.
That was beautiful, honey. True.
All right. Wrap this up.
Okay.
Or do you have more to say?
No,
I could keep going on and on, guys. Don't you worry. But I want to keep this at an appropriate length for you guys, if you're still hanging around. Trust isn't something that you just get back. It's something that you rebuild, one small action at a time.
Our baseline looks different now. It's calmer, it's peaceful, and more honest.
And every conversation, every project is just another small step in the right direction.
There's less fear and more partnership.
And who wouldn't want that?
Exactly. It's not about perfection. It's about showing up and keeping the little promises, even when it's hard.
It's the best thing I can do. Just keep showing up. and being me and knowing that this is who I want to be in this moment.
Being honest with yourself. And therefore being honest with me.
And all those around me, yes. It's again, it's infectious. You know, you start treating yourself better, you start behaving better, you start projecting. All right, I'm getting my stuff together. People will see it.
Oh, absolutely.
'Cause for the longest time, I know words have become meaningless. You know, you make all these empty promises to become better, do better. But through time and through actions, they're little actions. Like, hey, thinking of you today. Little love notes. I made you dinner today. I'm going to the movies today. Like, just little things, they start to add up and they start to rebuild. So not all hope is always lost. And if you're choosing to be a better person, no better time like starting now.
And that's why we want this space to be. Inward and outward trust. Shit.
We've been mostly organic this entire time.
I know. Hold on.
So well.
Yeah, it's the closing. That's what we want this space to be. One that rewards people for trusting us through the process.
So naturally delivered. I love it.
Stop! Hold on. It's not about perfection. It's about showing up even when it's hard. And that's what we want the space to be. One that rewards people for trusting the process with us.
Trust is the thread that holds all of this together. The story, our series that we're starting, our community, it's the quiet little thing that builds up everything. And we appreciate you guys having trust in our storytelling. If you've been here since the beginning, we appreciate you. And thank you for being a part of all of this, for trusting the process, for choosing to place trust within me again.
I love you.
I love you.
And this is and these are the conversations we're building towards.
More in-depth stories about
Resilience.
our resilience, yes. Our overcoming of struggles, trust rebuilding. I'm drowning here, guys. Just throw me a buoy.
Well, the journey of us healing, like, it's not just overnight. I mean,
That's it. Join us next week to continue the journey of healing. We love you all.
we do.
Go check out this video. It's got some more great stuff. We're gonna have some more skits coming out. And we want to keep delivering more content, so let us know if you guys are liking what we're putting out. It's only going to keep getting better. We're going to keep getting sharper with it. So love and appreciate you all, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.